What is up, guys? Welcome to Vintage Genetics, where it is all about classic bodybuilding. And today will be a leg workout, really focusing on the legs, because I will be competing in a classic physique class in the pro division. And when you're a pro, you cannot show any flaws anymore. As an amateur, you can get away with some things if your upper body is good enough and you're conditioned, but your legs are slightly off, but the rest is off as well, you still win. But as a pro, you have already proven yourself to be the best at your given country or your given contest, or a lot of people that are amateurs for sure, so you have proven yourself to have a very good physique. So there's a good chance that I will be competing against classic physique competitors with amazing legs, and if they are conditioned, if they have proportions, if they have a good upper body, I might get in trouble. So to prevent that, I will be working the legs as a priority, for sure. Now, of course, I am confident that I will do very well in any classic physique show that I will do, but I will not grant anyone any chance to pick out any weaknesses in my physique, and anyone should think the same way. If you look at yourself and you see a weak point, and it's your legs, or it's your chest, or it's your back, you should put it as a priority. And the way that I like to do it is you train everything once a week except for the priority. You train that twice a week, you up the volume, you double the volume of that body part compared to the rest until that weak point is fixed, basically. Because otherwise, everything will keep growing and your weak point won't be addressed. Because the weak point will grow, yes, but the other parts, the strong points, will grow as well, and everything should be in proportion. And in order for that to happen, you need to have your weak points grow faster. So anyway, the first exercise is the leg press, and this is one of my favorite ones to start out with or to end with, depending on the exercises I've done that day. But today I really wanted to warm up at first with some light weights, going at least 90 degrees, going deeper, much deeper than 90 degrees, might impact your spine. I've had that problem before. Of course, I could go deeper, but again, the lower back is very sensitive on leg exercises, especially for taller people. So what I like to do is do 10 to 12 reps at least 90 degrees, keeping the tension on the entire legs. My foot positioning was about shoulder width, maybe a little bit wider, or just about shoulder width, to target both the hamstrings and the quads simultaneously to get a good warm-up of the legs. And then we move on to a special variation of the hack squat. I like to do a hack squat quite with a wide stance, because this enhances the tension on the inside of the leg, on the inner thighs. And even if you have very good quads, your legs could still look quite small if your inner thighs don't match up to the rest of your legs. So you can better have big inner thighs compared to big quads if your goal is to have big looking legs, especially on stage. So that's why I like to do wide stance squats, wide stance hack squats. It just feels more comfortable as well, and you can really feel a stretch on the inside of the leg. But as you have noticed, I am not doing regular reps. I am doing paused reps, because like it or not, the hack squat is a quad dominant exercise. And when you look at my knees, you can see the quad, the teardrop, everything really stretching at the very bottom. And the bigger the stretch, the better the contraction. So I'm enhancing the stretch right there, prolonging the stretch by having a paused rep at the bottom. So pause it for at least 1 to 1.5 seconds to really get a nice stretch in there, and you will feel an incredible pump compared to doing it up and down without a break at the bottom. It does make the exercise a lot more difficult, but it prevents you from using momentum, pushing yourself up, because what you're doing is basically pushing yourself up from a dead point at the bottom. So when people are having trouble building their strength on the squats or the hack squats, even the leg press, even the bench press, using a paused rep at the bottom will ensure you have increased strength from that dead point with no momentum. So when you practice it like this, when you increase your strength like this, the most difficult position to be in, you will be stronger in the entire exercise, the entire range of motion. So if you have a weak squat or a weak bench press, it doesn't have to be legs, any exercise that you can do a pause rep at the bottom with, you should definitely try it out to increase your strength. And I have to say, the amount of sets that I did on the leg press and hack squats were quite high, 5 to 6 sets, but I really want to get voluminous and full legs, and in my opinion, in my personal case, high volume has always worked for the rest of my body. And now, because my legs are a weaker point, not really a weak point, but a weaker point compared to the rest of my body, to the upper body, I want to train them, of course, but I want to train the hamstrings even more, because my lower body, the hamstrings, are the weakest point of the weak point, if you know what I mean. So I really want to get those hamstrings up. So every single leg workout I try to do at least one isolation movement for the hamstrings. And an isolation movement means really pushing and rushing blood to the muscle itself without any other muscle assisting the lift. However, this is my last set, and right here I am doing controlled cheat curls, because the most damage is done on the negative portion of the range of the motion, but I cannot get it up without using momentum, but I can get it down with the same strength. So when you're too weak to really push the weight up, but you're still strong enough to lower it down slowly on the negative, you can either use a spotter or you can use controlled cheat curls to force the weight up and then slowly lower it down, damaging the muscle even more, pretty much going past failure, using yourself as a spotter. And then as a final true leg exercise, we move on to none other than the back squats. I know that a lot of people like to start out with the back squats, of course, because they are a basic primary leg exercise, working the entire legs. But sometimes, and trust me, sometimes when ending the workout with a back squat, you will feel it so much more in the leg muscles. You don't want a squat to be like a cardio exercise where you just feel your entire body being tired from the lift. You want to feel the muscle that you're working give out before your cardio does. And the way to do this is to do squats like this at the very end of the workout. So I do recommend you guys trying this out at least once to know exactly what I'm talking about, because your legs are already pumped up, they are fatigued, and to really finish them off, you can do a squat like this to really ensure that you finish off every single muscle fiber that has been left untouched. And do keep in mind, the weight that you are able to lift is a lot lighter. Pretty much 2/3 of what you can usually lift, you can only lift now. And I'm also here doing a sumo squat, pretty much a wide stance squat. A sumo squat will be a little bit wider, but a wide stance squats really helps building the inner thighs again, and also actually the quad sweep if you keep your knees on the outside. You always have to push your knees outwards when doing a squat to prevent them from buckling inwards and to keep your form tight up and down. I used to have this problem a lot, that my legs were moving inwards, especially when doing a heavier weight. I still have that problem a little bit, but pushing your knees outwards really has helped me tremendously. And you can see me wearing a belt right here, and the belt is really to assist my core, basically my lower back and the abdominals, assisting the lift. So I really want my legs to do all the work and not my core. It's already done plenty of work this entire workout. And I consciously did not use the belt for the first 2 sets. I usually do this when starting out with back squats as well, consciously not using that belt to really, keep the core engaged for at least a couple of sets. And then the last couple of sets, because it's all about the legs, I use the belt to help assist me staying straight, to help give my core more strength, and to really focus on the lift itself without actually keeping my entire body, tight. I really want to focus on those legs, and I really want to build them up. And of course, guys, when building the legs, one cannot forget about the calves. I know that this is a big genetic factor. However, I did not have big calves when I started out. A lot of people have more potential in building calves, but everybody has potential to build good calves. Even if insertions are horrible, it doesn't matter. A short calf can still be a big one if you train it correctly. Because I simply see too many people not performing the calf raise the correct way. Just look at how I'm doing it. I'm going down past 90 degrees and going up, holding the contractions for at least a second, extending the time under tension, because the range of motion of a calf raise isn't really that great, so you want to extend the time under tension as much as possible. So sometimes I like to do 15 to 20 reps, as you can see me doing right here, to extend the time under tension even more. And I see so many people on stage with bad calves. I just want people to know how to train them so they can actually rock some pretty good pair of calves on stage, or just walking in shorts on the street. It's just an awesome feeling to have, I can tell you that much. And the shoes that I'm wearing right now, guys, they are available only today and tomorrow for the pre-order, 15 euros off. So if you pre-order them now, you get 15 euros off the price. So right now they are 65 euros and they will be 80 euros when they are available right away. They will be sent out in May, early May. So if you pre-order them now, you only have to wait a couple of weeks, but you do save 15 euros off one pair of incredible leg weight training, old school, vintage genetics, stay golden, flat soled, incredible shoes. I'm sorry, I just love them. Anyway guys, a new Q&A is coming up after this video. I want to thank you for watching, and don't forget to stay golden.